dear.
Yeah, I was told that they get better.
Yes, they definitely get better. The last one was great. We're seeing the IMAX Spider-Verse. Are you recording? Yes, I am. Yes. Transformers actually looks pretty good, I won't lie. The Boogeyman. Ooh, Elemental.
I'm gonna get my ticket.
The Boogeyman. Oh, dang, Michael, that was loud. All right, guys. Across the Spider-Verse,
So I have to
best
basically
best
that was
movie of the year.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yes,
yet.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
I honestly, best. Yeah, I don't. Better than the first one, but it was.
It was
a continuation of the first one. It's such a perfect one. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's out here.
Yes, a spoiler for anyone who's out here. Yes, yes. It was so much better.
It was. No, it wasn't. It was just more.
It was just more. But the animation style, I could not get over the animation style.
We watched it in IMAX, so we got to experience.
Yes.
I'm so happy we watched that.
Yes, yes.
That was the best IMAX experience. It was just visually.
Yes.
Visually,
It was visually, like when the movie started,
Stunning.
I was like, man, this is such a big screen. And I was just
stunning.
glued from beginning to end.
Stunning.
And the music, and then I was like, this is going to be so long.
Yes.
And then I was like,
And
it ended right there.
That is.
Okay, I'm gonna call my mom.
Okay, that was great.
Talk about
Yeah,
That
all
was
right.
a cliffhanger if ever I've seen one.
Good. You liked it? You
Oh, yeah.
what? Okay, wait, real quick. This or Guardians? Would
This.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you're even-
I know, I know, but I'm saying that they were so good.
Hands down.
You're
this
even
was-
considering Guardians
this is
over
way
this?
more.
No, I'm not. I'm saying, never mind. Never mind. I'm getting.
Yes, Guardians was good for what it was, but this is just
This is
animation.
beyond.
Animation can.
No,
do so
but
much
that's
more.
funny because the next movie is Beyond the Spider-Verse.
I know.
It's gonna be. It's
I
gonna be
didn't know
beyond
there was
beyond.
another one coming.
Yeah. March of next year.
Oh,
March of
really?
next year? You mean you have to wait a freaking year? Oh my god.
Not quite a year.
Oh, sorry,
Last one
sorry.
came out in
sorry.
2018, so this is at least better.
Well, yeah, but like, oh my gosh.
But this, I've been so pumped for this, and I feel like this is gonna be my favorite movie of the year. Favorite movie. Can't go wrong with Spider-Man. The animation.
It was so good.
Yes. Ugh.
And the score.
Watch that again.
The score was.
Yeah, I was
the score
bopping.
Hit every time.
Yes.
Like every time.
There were emotional scenes,
Oh.
and then the action scenes. I
And then
I
the
couldn't get
character
up.
motifs that they included.
Like
a
the
couple
Indian
times.
stuff. That Indian stuff was great.
Yes, I really
And the
love
rock
that.
star guy too. Michael, that's not your car.
Hobie.
Hobie.
Oh, his style alone.
Took 2 to 3 years to animate that guy. That's incredible.
texted my mom.
Would it be
And then I
too?
called her, like,
would it
2
be
minutes
too
later,
far
she
to say
didn't
that
pick
is the
up.
best
This is-
Marvel movie of all time?
And now
What'd you
my
say?
sister
Would it be
didn't
too
pick
far
up.
to say
We're all
that's the
same
best
place.
Marvel movie of all time?
It's not a crazy. No, I think it's the best comic book movie.
Because she
Oh, that's
ended after
it's the only.
this.
It's
It's
one of
like
two
5
comic
minutes
book
that way.
movies,
I just
right?
wanna make sure there's-
Well, at least
Hello,
comic
Jim,
style.
are you still-
No.
At least
No, but
one
no,
of the
I'm
comic
talking
book
about.
movies.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Are you like superhero, like comic book
Yeah, I know, but
superhero?
like actually comic
Okay,
book
never mind. I
style.
have no
It's not-
deadline. I have
Well,
nowhere to be.
But like
Clearly
when people say comic
Okay.
book, they mean like superhero or anything.
Oh my
But
gosh.
but Michael, here's the thing. So I was like,
I have to. I have to
when-
clap at that movie again.
yes, we clapped. I think the reason when we stood up, I just clapped. Like when Michael says don't clap at a movie, this was the movie to clap
I
at.
still didn't clap because they're not here to enjoy it.
But I
Oh
did.
my goodness.
No, but like every.
This was like a splurge IMAX thing, and I'm like,
Basically,
yeah.
this
There were
movie.
so many good.
So I watched Your Name, and that movie.
Yeah,
Still
we know how you
left-
feel about Your
still
Name,
left
Michael.
me- Still
I
left
liked
me-
Your Name, Michael.
That movie still left me more stunned than this, but this one I think just because of its animation style was just visually more.
Yes, there was
Better.
just so much more going on.
You didn't watch.
Because-
you didn't watch Your Name.
No, I didn't.
You watched
I
it.
have.
Yes,
but,
I.
like-
But
I haven't. I've kind of.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Your
Floated
Name.
through it.
This over Your Name.
Well, it's
Oh, yeah,
completely
anyway,
different.
anyway,
It's completely
anyway. I know,
different.
I know. I can't
I'm
connect.
saying specifically the emotional effect they had on me. Both.
There's people
Your
walking.
Name made me like more stunned at the end. I couldn't talk for like 20 minutes after that movie ended.
Oh, I can't.
This one
I
I can
can't-
talk.
I can't talk either.
This
can't
one
not
feels.
talk.
This
Oh
one's
my
more
gosh.
exciting.
All right.
Because it's not.
Here's a
It's not.
question.
It's not.
Yeah, here's a-
Without analyzing anything, would you just say that this might be the best Marvel movie?
Yes.
It's the best comic book movie.
Yes. Well, comic book. Exactly.
Comic book movie. Yeah.
Because when people say like Spider-Man 2 is like,
It is
oh, that's the best
definitely
comic book movie, like Doc Ock and all that Sam
But
Raimi.
this is. Animation is just so much better because you can do so much more with it. You
That's
can make
like-
a movie.
I'm not
that
interrupting.
has-
It's easier to differentiate the characters.
It's easier to differentiate the characters. You can get away with more. The action is more thrilling because you don't have to have any sort of disbelief. Like I just can believe it will happen
Also-
because it doesn't matter.
just a little side
The
thing.
physics don't have to make sense.
Just a little side thing. I really appreciated that they explain everything about the universe within the one movie, which
Yes.
is kind of insane.
Boom. Light.
Wow. But
Oh,
okay, the one my only complaint. My
Not do
only
that.
complaint. I was able. There were so many things
Okay, I won't
where
do
I'm
it.
like, you just didn't need to tell me that. I could have figured that out on my own. It felt a little
But it,
too
it
much
did
to
it better than
explain.
it did it.
You're-
But
Remember, you're advanced up here.
oh, thank you. I
Not
appreciate
everyone.
it.
Yeah, no, but
is.
see, Michael,
But
I have
it
to make a
worked.
point on
didn't
that.
make- it didn't feel jarring.
It did
That's
better.
all.
It did
didn't-
better than Ant-Man when
Ant-Man.
the earpiece.
Yes.
In this
This
movie,
movie-
it did better.
It's not even
The
comparable.
biggest complaint. I
No,
have
it is
with modern
comparable
movies
because
is the
Ant-Man had the
exposition.
stupid scene where
And this movie
You kept,
did
like,
exposition
referring back.
better than most movies do.
Yeah.
And so even with just that part, with doing exposition well, because they already have the
Yes.
established exposition from the first movie, they're like, I'm Spider-Man, and then they do the whole thing. So it works that they're like, yeah, we're just going to tell you the exposition, and it works because they do it in such a visually stunning style. They're not just telling you, because in a live-action movie, when they tell you exposition, it's usually a bunch of people standing around being like, I'm telling you exposition. In this movie, they can show you while telling you at the same time, and
Yes.
it works so much better.
Yeah.
I loved that the beginning started with Gwen.
Yes.
It was both Gwen and Miles' story.
Yes.
Oh, I loved
It
it.
was so good.
That was not a spoiler. Also,
at first I was
yes.
like, why
there
is
were
this-
spoiler. There were cameos in this movie.
No, 'cause
I was not expecting.
I know. And at first I was like,
everybody's gonna hear my voice.
I know. And at first I was annoyed that they were starting with Gwen. I'm like, why are they starting
Yeah,
with
we
Gwen?
went,
It's supposed to
but
be
it made
Miles
sense. It
Morales
made
movie.
sense with-
But then I was like, wait a second, it's not a Miles Morales, it's a Spider-Verse movie. Also, they did it so well.
Yes.
They did it with pairing Gwen and Miles in this because like the first one was Miles, this one's Gwen. I'm a,
Like,
They're dichotic.
But they're the focus.
I'm
of
sure the
story.
next one will be more
you can't have your
parents
cake
and
eat
that.
it too, but then you have two cakes, and then all the
Ugh.
Dude,
threads,
all of those little,
threads.
all of those little,
You can't
like,
save everyone. It works.
yes, all of
little
those
threads.
little.
I
comments
noticed.
that
I
they
noticed when they said the Indian guy is like, I can do both, and then was like
And-
Miles. I was like, wow.
made.
Yeah.
You can already see that
Yeah.
they've built up and fully intending a second movie.
Yeah, and it works. Well,
Like,
obviously, that.
like with the plot thread. Well, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
Yeah.
with the plot thread where Gwen goes back to her father and then has the realization.
Yeah. Also, the way they did each universe visually distinct.
It
they
was
also
so
make-
beautiful.
Like, because like Gwen's universe was like painted. It worked so well. Like it's
Yeah.
all,
It reminded me.
so
It
good.
reminded me. Not to interrupt. It reminded me of this new Star Wars Visions episode. Like it was paint, and it just was like I could kept thinking about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But-
but
and
yeah,
then
just,
all the
like,
animations.
And then the different
The
other
Indian.
ones, Earth 42 was
Yeah.
like every single one. They managed to make it so you can understand what's going on, but it's also very visually distinct, and it just works so well.
Do you like the punk rock guy now?
I still
Obi?
think he's stupid, but I think
Oh, yeah.
they used him so well.
I think he's
I
awesome.
think that he,
His
He's
plot-
fun.
his
all
He-
of
they
his-
took him- it
his
took him 2 to 3 years to
personal
animate.
plot fit with his
Exactly.
vibe so well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The plot that they
The
used him
punk
in.
He was there to
vibe
disrupt.
was
He was there
so
to-
perfect.
exactly. and it
That's
worked.
why
Yeah.
he was rough.
2 to 3 years to
Yeah.
animate that character is
Spider-Man.
insane, though.
Sick shirt.
I don't want to record you, but
No, no, I'm-
Yeah.
I'm so, oh my gosh. That's awesome. I want to see it.
I want to see it too. In IMAX. Yeah. What?
IMAX was great.
I'm just saying 2 to 3 years to animate Hobie.
What?
Yeah.
Lauren Miller said they took 2 to 3 years to animate the Rockstar character
Yeah.
because he had like all this shifting.
Because what it is
Well,
that
what was really cool about him is that he was a 2D character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2D, it was like 2D 3D. And I think the one thing this movie managed to do well is that it without the one thing, sorry, one of the things. I misspoke there. You're right.
One of the things.
is
One of
that
the many things.
They were very much able to use humor when it was appropriate. And
Okay.
like, use serious scenes when it was appropriate.
Correct.
And they never tried to get. They never got ahead. Got
ahead of themselves, yes.
They didn't do what I just did.
I went.
Like Thor 3.
Like Thor 3.
No, not
Or
like
no,
Thor 4.
Thor 4.
Thor 4, 4, 4, 4, 4.
Love and Thunder.
So
Yeah.
yes,
Got away,
I
got
think
it.
it balanced mood immaculately.
Yes.
Like,
It balanced-
compared to Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm not trying to
Guardians
interrupt
of the Galaxy has super emotional moments.
Right.
And it has super funny moments. They smashed them right next to each
Exactly.
other, and it was so terrible.
I mean, it was
I'm
good,
sorry.
but it was terrible.
I mean, all of the moments separately in Guardians of the Galaxy were great.
Exactly.
But together, they were smashed together, and it did not. It was not cohesive.
Exactly.
This movie is
Cohesion.
This
It
movie
managed-
This is a
perfectly cohesive.
Cartheta cry, too. It's a Cartheta cry.
Cathartic.
Cathartic. I can't say
I think
words!
that's the appropriate use of that term, or whatever. It managed to be.
Sorta, yeah.
It managed to be.
It's a cathartic.
Managed-
Carthetic.
You're terrible.
Thank you. Bye bye.
It managed to be like this is the word you say cohesive. It managed to be cohesive, whilst also having not
Cathartic.
just being one mood, not just being
Yes.
depressing, not just being happy. It was
I
cohesive.
also
in
here's-
that it was a real story.
Here's the I like how there were little arcs within the movie.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
Yes.
it was very clear that it was almost like different chapters of a book.
Well, that's what they did.
And that's what I love movies that do that.
that.
I just watched a movie recently that did that and like does
I don't know
chapter
if-
markers
was
and it's
that in
awesome.
the first movie also because I didn't
No,
notice as much
it
there.
wasn't.
No,
So
the
this-
first
that's
movie.
that's a perfect.
The first
Yeah,
movie feels like
I'll wait.
It took the classic Marvel style that had been happening and
turned it on its head, turns it on its
didn't
head.
turn it on its head. It did it super well.
Right.
And then this one
Follows it up
follows it up
in
by
a different
just doing
direction.
more.
Yes.
And so it still feels like a Marvel movie. It still feels like a superhero movie. It still feels like a comic book movie. But it feels like the best version of that.
Yes.
And that's what Into the Spider-Verse felt like the first one. And now this one feels like they've gotten better.
To be honest, towards the climax of the film, I was kind of thinking in my mind, we're almost out of time here.
I know, it just felt like that.
And I'm like, are they gonna finish a fight?
It took them so long to edit too, though.
I know. Okay, I think it was well paced.
But I think
though.
it was.
I'm not
It was-
complaining
it was
about
well
Once it
paced.
ended, I was like, that was the perfect ending. But it felt like they could have ended like 6 times.
Yes.
The thing I want to say,
Yeah.
the thing I want to say about, you said the humor,
Yeah.
which I think I've heard people say that the first one was funnier, but this one had
What?
jokes
This
that I
one-
laughed
I
at.
haven't-
Well, that's what I'm saying. This one I laughed. I think I laughed louder in this one, and again,
You think
it
so?
felt more cohesive in the sense that
No, I agree
the
with
joke
that.
scenes were joke scenes, the serious scenes were serious scenes.
But I felt like I laughed more than I was going to because people were like, "Oh, this isn't as funny as the first one." I'm like, I thought I laughed more than I
But
was.
I mean, I snickered a lot. Like
Yes,
I
I was
lot,
like,
there was a lot of like.
I did the Michael laugh. I keep doing your laugh,
Snide
Michael.
remarks
Except
and things that
the
were
one
funny.
joke that made me laugh out loud immensely because it was so stupid and I loved it was when he's
Yes.
like, "This is a metaphor for capitalism." Like,
Yeah. I
wish-
yeah, it was just
Did you-
not,
oh, wait.
so out of place, but like funny.
exactly.
Michael, did you laugh at the no?
was great.
Like when Gwen and Miles were sitting like that. Did you like their chemistry?
I didn't laugh at it.
No. But did you?
I
Because
was
you always
jealous.
have a problem. Yeah.
I was sitting upside down for that.
Yeah, I was like, their blood,
That's
the blood's rushing to their head.
Yeah. We're like, dude, that must suck. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Great movie. For me, it's gonna be up there for the end of the
Also,
year.
Oh, for sure.
I'm just gonna.
Is this
I'm
gonna
just
win Best
mention it.
Animation?
You know the trait
Maybe Best
is
Picture.
the railroad dilemma where you have to pick one railroad
Trolley problem?
where there's
The trolley problem. There's always a train in a superhero movie.
Kill one.
There's always a train. There was a train in the first movie too.
It's gonna subvert it somehow.
There's gonna be some visual demonstration because at the end there was a visual demonstration of a train derailing, and I think that was
Really?
Yeah, there was. When he was
Oh.
doing that final montage through, and he had like the duck arms.
Oh, that's
There
funny.
was a train
You
derailing.
think that was a
And I
allusion to the trolley?
I don't think it necessarily
Yeah,
was,
I
but
don't
we're
think
gonna
it was.
make it one because
We're gonna
that's
make it
really-
an illusion,
We're gonna
even
make
if
it
it
an
wasn't
illusion.
intentional.
Exactly.
It fits.
because yes.
I saw this video about superhero movies and trains. It's like, why is there always a train in superhero?
Well,
so there's
he's in
another one in this.
Brooklyn,
well, most
Yeah,
of them take
He
place
lives
in
in
New York
Brooklyn.
anyway.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I'm talking about like because it's like a fascinating feature to have like a train in an action scene in a superhero movie. So I don't know.
I also love.
And like, there's one in The Incredibles and
Yeah.
Batman. Was there one in Batman?
What?
I don't know. The original
character
Spider-Man.
foil between Miguel and Miles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So will he be back for the next one?
What?
How their
I
lives
bet he
Oh,
will.
he's
like-
absolutely gonna be back.
Yeah.
He's gonna
And
find a way
also-
to track him down.
Yeah, he
Of
will.
course. Duh. They can't. They're gonna
I
have-
can't wait.
They're gonna have a
My
Spider-Man
most
3
anticipated for next year.
He's very similar to Thanos, ironically.
Nah.
Well, I mean, in his, he's like.
No, I doubt it. But the spot though.
Sacrifice for
I'm
the
sorry, I'm
greater good.
interrupting
Yeah,
again.
but like that's not.
Well,
it's
they say that.
sacrifice little.
Can you
yeah,
believe
he's
it?
literally- Thanos is
If you
like,
generalize
let's,
it to that,
let's do
yes.
half.
Yeah, Thanos is that.
Thanos is like, let's do half.
Also, I want to see more of the vampire
Snap.
side of this guy.
I do wanna see more.
Yeah, I'm
They-
intrigued by that.
I want to see more of Vampire Miguel.
I don't know. I
Because
just the
my
action-
man-
When he said you're a vampire Spider-Man,
Although,
like,
Are you
are you sure?
Spider-Man?
And then he's like, I was like, hashtag Morbius. Like, he's a good guy.
Literally,
He's like,
I was thinking
hashtag
about that.
Morbius.
I mean, at least with Miguel, they're totally going to bring it up in the next film because there's so much that has been alluded to that hasn't been explained yet.
And like
So-
Miguel is like telling
Well, like, why does he? Why
Miles
is he
that he's not like a real Spider-Man. Okay, why are you a vampire, my boy?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what's
exactly.
going on here?
By the way,
That's foil.
mention of the villain, the Spot, voiced by Scott Pilgrim's villain.
Wait, what?
No, he's a famous actor who's been in
been in Scott Pilgrim.
other Wes Anderson movies.
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, so he was
Why'd
voiced
you
by.
mention Scott Pilgrim? Scott Pilgrim's not a Wes Anderson.
No, I know, but
Oh, well,
he was the
who
bad
was
guy
live action
in
Prowler? I
Spot's
recognize
voice
that
actor
face.
was in
Who
Scott
who
Pilgrim.
was
Yeah.
being the live action Prowler?
Oh, that was
That's the face.
Donald Glover.
Wait, don't spoil things, my
Oh,
video.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was. That was so funny.
It's spoiler.
We saw
Donald
him and we
Glover.
were like-
Spoilers.
Yes.
But I,
There are other cameos in this movie though. I was so disappointed.
I didn't
Like,
realize
I
that he was
saw
the
it
Prowler
coming.
exactly.
I didn't see it coming. I didn't see any of
That was the
cameos.
one
I
scene.
I
didn't
didn't
see-
like think of it.
I didn't
Donald
see any of
Glover-
the. I didn't see any of the cameos coming.
Wait, so
There were a lot. There were
I didn't see. Well, I knew they were gonna come, but I didn't see any the individual ones coming.
Yeah. Don't mention the one universe, please. Don't mention the one universe. I'm gonna mention it in my video.
Oh, that-
No, don't mention the one video.
Wait, so-
There's a universe that was awesome.
Yes.
Speaking of, there's
You-
Donald Glover.
everything was
You don't know who Donald Glover
do
is.
We, do we know why? Why am I thinking that he was the Prowler already?
Well, he
Because
was-
here's the
was.
reason. No,
He
here's the
was.
reason. Here's the
Because
reason.
in the-
Because in
yeah.
Homecoming, he was in
In
Homecoming
Homecoming?
as his uncle, as
Remember?
Miles,
As
or not. We
Aaron,
didn't see
right?
Miles. We saw
Well, he was
Tom
Uncle
Holland
Aaron.
talking
He
uncle.
was Aaron, right? Yeah.
Yes, he was Aaron in.
Okay.
But we didn't
That
see him
must
as
have been
Prowler.
where my brain
So people are like
did.
theorizing, oh, he'll be
He's got a sewer.
Prowler
I
in
know.
the.
The sewer just smelled on us.
I love that sewer smell.
Ooh, look at that bike. I'm getting a motorcycle soon. This is completely separate. I'm getting a motorcycle.
Can I record you on your motorcycle?
Yes.
All right.
Ooh, that is a nice bike.
Liking- oh,
That's pretty sick.
That is a nice bike.
That's very nice. I like
Yes.
that. Cool. Very good. I think I'm done.
There it goes.
Talking.
Yes.
I want to
Yes.
go home and
I wanna go
it
watch
again.
this movie
I'm gonna
again.
go pirate it and watch it again. That's a lie. I don't know how to pirate.
Speaking of pirating.
I don't think we. I don't think we'll do
Speaking of
pirating.
Speaking of pirates.
speaking of our mateys, whenever we do come to my house again,
What?
I'm watching Everything Everywhere All at Once with you.
Yes, I'll
Can
invite
can
you
invite me?
and maybe
I need to-
you.
I need to write down
Have you seen that
group
movie?
chat, so I can.
Everything
We need to
Everywhere,
make
all
a
at
group
once.
chat.
Best picture from last year.
I'm-
No.
I can add
Okay.
you to a
Not
group
actually.
chat. We already have a movie nights group chat,
What?
but not with you.
Okay.
It was with my school friends and Spencer.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Because I still
Oh,
Well, we have that Marvel group chat, but
a video on it. It was basically saying that when you try
where we're
to
talking about the movie
when you
again.
Yeah, we're
try
back
to
to the
anim-
movie.
yeah,
Sorry.
when you try to animate at lower frame rates, you're basically fighting the computer because all these computers are built to animate at the highest frame rate possible. But if you're trying to animate them at lower frame rates, or do like what they did with the punk guy and have like certain parts of him delayed a frame or two.
Yes,
You're
the punk guy was
You're
awesome.
fighting the
He was
computer.
like 2D.
Because the
Yeah.
computer's
Yeah.
trying to do a Disney film and trying to make it all smooth and high tech and have all this ray
Smooth
tracing and stuff like that.
jazz.
But in these movies, they literally, if you look past all the effects, it's like this a super stripped down character.
Yeah.
I was doing that with the teacher in that one scene when she's like the
grades or whatever?
No,
The grades?
yeah.
Oh.
Well, the advisor, basically, and I was sitting there looking past all of those, like, kind of the filters they put on top, and it's like the most bare bones,
Oh, I know.
untextured character.
No.
And I was like, wow, it looks really good. And I tried
Yeah.
to watch it on all the other ones, and I could find it certain times, and sometimes, like, they just filter it so well. Because
Oh,
basically
yeah.
one movie with all these filters on top of it. But then, when there's different Spider-Verse people, they have different filters on just certain characters. And
That's
then
right.
some of them are 2D, and some of them are 3D, and then also they're 3D but 2D at the same time. It works so
Yeah,
well.
it's not the same comparison, but it's when I watched Puss in Boots: The Last Wish for the first time, that was different because I was like, who cares about another Puss in Boots movie? And that was like a new animation, visually stunning. Yeah, that was awesome.
Puss in Boots was such a pure, wholesome little simple movie. And I
Yes,
loved it
me too.
So much.
I need to watch it.
It's so good.
You should.
Oh.
Maybe that's a.
There he goes. All right,
All right. Bye.
that was
Michael.
brilliant.
Bye.
Cross the Spider-Verse is a win.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.